Take a look at these two payslips. The one on the right lists a base rate alongside a separate line for casual loading. The one on the left shows only a single flat hourly rate. While the left side might look suspicious, a missing line item is not proof of underpayment. You cannot rely on finding the exact words casual loading to confirm you are paid fairly. Similarly, a high flat hourly rate does not guarantee the amount meets the legal minimum. Verifying your pay requires specific details: your industry award, your job classification, your baseline casual rate, and the specific penalty rates for the hours you actually worked. This creates a challenge. If your employer does not provide the mathematical breakdown on the payslip, the responsibility to decode those wages shifts to you. Since Australian law allows for various payslip formats, you must perform the mathematical verification to ensure you aren't being underpaid. Casual status is defined by a lack of firm advance commitment and your right to accept or reject shifts. This flexibility brings a financial trade. You receive a higher hourly rate to compensate for foregoing permanent benefits like paid annual and sick leave. Working a regular, predictable roster does not automatically change your status to a permanent employee. You can work the same shifts every week and still legally remain a casual worker. However, casuals do have specific rights under the national employment standards, including access to paid family and domestic violence leave and unpaid carers leave. Because you are trading long-term stability for upfront cash, your financial security depends entirely on the accurate calculation of your loading. A 25% loading is common, but it does not apply to every casual in every industry in the same way. This chart shows the national minimum wage effective July 2026 for an award-free adult. The base of $26.44 combines with the 25% loading to create a minimum casual rate of $33.05 per hour. Keep in mind that this specific figure does not apply to juniors, apprentices, or the millions of workers covered by industry awards, like retail employees, fast food workers, or aged care staff. The July wage increase follows a timing rule. The new rate applies from the first full pay period starting on or after July 1st. If your pay cycle began in late June, the older rate legally applies for the entire period, including early July shifts. Many claims of underpayment are based on simple misunderstandings of these dates and baseline rates. You need the exact dates of your pay cycle to perform an accurate audit. Payslips can legally present your earnings in several formats, some of which make the underlying math harder to see. This tree shows the three most common paths. Your loading might appear as a separate line item, or it might be bundled into a single combined hourly rate. A third possibility is that your payroll system displays only the final award rate for casuals. Finally, your contract might specify a higher flat rate intended to cover all your minimum legal entitlements at once. If you ask about your loading and payroll simply says it's already included, you have not yet received proof of payment. You should ask for a written breakdown that identifies your classification, the base rate, and the casual rate used to calculate that inclusive figure. A verbal promise of a flat rate is only legal if the final amount paid is at least equal to the minimum entitlements for the actual hours you worked. When you worked evenings, weekends, or public holidays, you trigger penalty rates that increase your hourly pay to account for those specific times. This matrix shows how pay changes during penalties. Casual loading doesn't interact with penalty rates in a single, universal way. One award might stack the loading and penalty together on the base rate, while another replaces the loading entirely with a single, higher penalty rate. Because of these complex interactions, relying on a standard flat rate for a varied roster is a significant risk. A flat rate that looks generous for a Tuesday afternoon can easily fall below the legal minimum for a public holiday shift. Beyond the hourly rate, you should also check for missing pay related to mandatory training, unpaid setup and closing time, and superannuation. Judging your pay based solely on your weekday hours can hide significant underpayments on your weekend and holiday shifts. Visa holders, international students, and migrant workers have the same minimum workplace rights as every other employee in Australia. Your employer cannot legally reduce your casual loading or remove award protections because of your visa status or English proficiency. Any agreement you made to work for less than the legal minimum, whether verbal or in a written contract, is not legally binding. Even if you have breached a condition of your visa, your employer still must pay you the full legal minimum for the work you performed. Minimum workplace rights are absolute. Your visa status never gives an employer the right to underpay you. To start your own audit, save every payslip and keep a personal log of your exact start and finish times for every shift. Use an independent tool, like the Fair Work Record My Hours app, to ensure you have a record that doesn't depend on your employer's system. Once you have your hours, identify your award and classification and use the Fair Work Pay and Conditions tool to find your legal minimum rate. If you find a discrepancy, raise it with payroll in writing. If the issue isn't resolved, contact the Fair Work Ombudsman or seek union assistance. Do not sign any document stating you have received all your entitlements unless you have verified the numbers yourself. Information in this video was checked and accurate as of 24 July 2026. This video provides general verification methods and does not replace personalized legal advice regarding specific awards, overtime, or allowances. Securing the income you've earned as a casual worker requires you to look past the layout of your payslip and run an independent audit of the numbers against your legal rights.